Yes, my people. Welcome back. This is the Outspoken Podcast, episode 6. I am your host, Annotate, joined by my co-host.
Just Naeem, guys. And you guys can call me, like we said every single week so far, Naeem.
I'm not even going to acknowledge it this week,
But I don't give a crap what you say,
he's going to do it every week, every single week,
It's going to be happening, man.
You guys are going to eventually be bored of it and be like, can this guy just shut up
They're gonna make a clan.
a clan, you know.
Just Naeem.
Last week we had an amazing discussion with Abdul Kareem, man.
Yeah, it was good.
It was incredible. We was discussing Salukin? Hadouken.
Salukin.
That's a new one.
Why are you creating
No
moves
more
for, bro?
Hadouken, man.
What's going on?
Salukin. No, we were discussing solution. I can't even talk. What's going on?
Solutions. There you go.
Solution, is that how you say
That's
it?
how you say it, that's how you say it.
Solution-focused approaches to helping young people, and it was very beneficial. It was an incredible discussion, and we were very, very grateful to have someone so knowledgeable in this regard on the podcast. And this week we've got another incredible guest, so we'll be introducing that person very soon. But to start with, you know how we like to get you guys involved. We're gonna answer some questions from you guys. We're gonna answer these questions, give you our thoughts on what you guys are asking us and what you want to hear us talk about on the podcast. The first question that I've been asked today is about the advent of drill music and whether it's a catalyst for the recent surge in London knife crime. Naeem, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, don't mind. In regards to drill music, first thing, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know exactly what drill music is. To be honest, like, if you can explain that to me.
Drill music's...
Like, I know about it, I just don't know what the heck it is, though.
So drill music's content comprised of talking about violence and advocating and glorifying the act of violence against people. So knife crime, gun crime, things of that nature.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. So, in regards to that, does it incite violence?
Yeah,
well,
basically.
Well,
Does it lend itself to the increase in knife crime, is what the question is. It's from Dean's Rhymes and Life, by the way, people.
I don't know, man, because that can be with a lot of things as well. Because, like, video games that, like for example, Call of Duty, does that incite gun crime?
That's interesting.
Like, watching Daredevil, does that incite violence in itself?
People start throwing on masks and going around the city.
Do you know what I mean?
They're a vigilante.
Do you know what I mean? Or like Batman, I'm Batman. Like, you know, like coming in and like, do you know what I mean? Coming in, rolling through, like punching some man up and saying, "Yeah, this is for justice."
This is justice.
Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. Those are TV shows,
Well,
but this is like, for example, with this kind of stuff with drill music. I know now. I have an idea what you're talking about. Is like, that's a lifestyle, isn't it? Like, they're portraying a lifestyle
and glorifying.
Exactly. And these are like Batman and all these other stuff. These are like, everyone knows, like, they understand, like, this is fake, like, this is just fictional, like, fictional stuff. With that's actual real people talking about. If it sounds like it's like real stuff they've actually done, because I remember, like, there's a lot of rappers that talk about the stuff that they've done, whether they've committed robberies or murders and stuff like that. They actually mention it in some of their bars. So maybe, potentially you can. I believe you can.
Yeah. On a serious note, I do believe that drill music has an impact on young people, without a shadow of a doubt. Whether or not it actually is a catalyst for the recent surge in London knife crime, that's a discussion for somebody that deals with psychological trauma and who can actually realistically give a credible answer to that question. But in terms of my own thoughts, I would say it's problematic on a large scale. Glorifying this sort of thing and young people hearing it and believing this is a lifestyle that's worth engaging with or worth taking on is very, very problematic for our community and society in general. I've come across a lot of young people where I've had discussions with them where they actually idolize these people and want to grow up to be like them. So they want to live this life. They'll straight say, I'll say to them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they're like, yeah, I want to be doing this like this guy and that guy that's doing this. And it's all because of that ideal or that concept that's presented to them through this drill music. My own personal opinion is very, very problematic.
When did, like, because obviously I believe, because I've been hearing drill music from, like, a lot of people that some people that they like it, they listen to it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But when did it become like popular and stuff, drill music? Or has it always been there?
Nah, I wouldn't say it's always been there. It's become more popular over the past few years.
Yeah.
Before that, we kind of had grime, which was a lot softer in comparison.
Yeah.
Drill music is very hard. It's very hard. It's in your face. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. This is what makes me bad, and things of that nature. And yeah, it's problematic.
Yeah.
Problematic on a large scale. Large scale.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question, man. Like,
Yeah,
that's a difficult question to ask.
Yeah,
me,
it's
bruv.
a difficult
Do you know what I
question
mean?
to hope.
To hope.
It's a difficult question to hope. It's a difficult question to answer. But I hope that was adequate. Dean Rhymes and Life. Nawaz Hassan asked us what made us start the podcast. What made us start this podcast? The reason we started this podcast, to put it in the most simplest of terms, is because we wanted to address issues we believe are neglected, overlooked, or not spoken about enough in society, or if they are spoken about, they're not spoken about in an adequate manner. We wanna represent the youth as much as we can. We wanna support the youth, and that's why, like I said last week, we had a guest that was very solution focused, and his approach to tackling youth crime was amazing. Go check that episode out, please, and you'll see exactly why we started this podcast just from that episode alone. To be honest with you,
it's funny because me and Liam, we spent one whole day thinking about how to start a podcast and what to call it and what like elements we need to put inside it, bro. Before the podcast actually was released, like we had the name we had at the beginning was called the Game Changers.
Game Changers.
But then we're sitting there, we're like, it's a good name, but does it really represent what we're trying to talk about?
Yeah.
And then we're sitting there, we're like thinking about names, sitting there for how long were we sitting there for? Like a couple of hours.
A couple of hours just
We
discussing
were
names.
sitting there a couple of hours, bro, and then. Like, the first thing we did, we wrote up a list of people we want to bring onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Not even having a name yet.
That list was extensive.
That was a big list, yeah. And, one thing led to another. And then, we came up with that name. And we were like, yeah, let's do it. And we were like, if we do this, we have to stay in for a long time. We can't give up at the beginning. We can't give up midway. We have to stay in and make sure that this podcast is coming out every week. If there's no guest, if there's no Liam, if there's no me at some point, we're at least bringing out an episode for you guys every single week. Yeah, like if you see us one time, it's just us. Like just like for example, if you see Liam by himself. Like that just shows like, look, we're trying to do our best to be consistent and at least bring an episode.
That's
for
what you call striving in the face of adversity.
There you go.
You see what I did there?
I
did there?
Yeah, the
Adam
wordplay.
speaks.
Adam
Speaks. TED Talk
yeah.
today, people. TED Talk. By the time you hear this, he would have already had the TED Talk. We hope it goes well. It's an amazing thing for him. It's an amazing achievement. He's been working towards this, and I hope it goes well for him. But yeah. Striving in the face of adversity, man. We're going to keep this thing running regardless of the situation. And the Outspoken Podcast, we're real, we're honest, and we are raw. We're willing to address whatever we can, whatever issues you guys want to bring up. We're looking to discuss them and just be truthful and real regarding these issues. This is the Outspoken Podcast, and I want to know what's happening. So, Naeem, what's happening, man?
Bro, let me just ask you the first question. Have you ever been stopped by the police? Like legit, like
thankfully I haven't.
Yeah,
praise
I've
to
been
God.
I've been stopped by the police. Yeah, like not for like anything. Like just for like one time I spat on the floor. Yeah, and the police came up and he said, "Why you spit on the floor, bruv?" That's a true story. That happened to me. Yeah, I was like a kid, bro.
That's a crime under section
Yeah, but
452.
Like guy rolled up in it. It was like, "Yeah, we did. Hey, are you dumb?" No, he didn't say like that.
He put his fist out to spud
No,
you,
no,
yeah?
no,
He's
no,
like,
no,
yo,
no,
you dumb, bro.
He's in the car. He looked outside. He's like, "Hey, don't do that. Don't spit on the floor, please." I was like, "Oh,
Man was
crap."
trying to spud you out the window, like, yo, don't do that. You can spud, man.
But yeah, like, bro, like in America, we know the situation when it comes to police. Yeah, they stop anyone, like not anyone. They stop many Black Americans for anything.
Sadly.
And this is I'm highlighting something that happened 2 days ago. My boy, shout out to Visionary Kid. He showed us this report. In
Big
the
up,
US.
Visionary Kid.
Big up him. And bro, this guy is a Black university American student. Yeah.
Wow.
Outside his house, outside his man's yard, bro, he got stopped by the police. Guess
For
what
what?
for?
For
Guess what for? For picking up rubbish. Guess what, bruv? Man was picking up rubbish and he got stopped,
What did the police have to say to him about it?
bro. The police said, literally what the police comment was, he had a blunt object in his hand. Bro, the blunt object was tongs. You know those tongs that you use to pick
a
up?
rubbish pickup.
Yeah, the rubbish pickup. Bro, man had the thing that picks up rubbish, and he said he had a blunt object in his hand, and he was refusing to put it down. The guy, and then, in the video,
refusing to put it down,
bro, in the video, the guy was like, bro, I'm picking up rubbish. In my hand is a bucket. He said, my hand's a bucket. Like he had a bucket to put rubbish in, and the guy was like, no, put down the bucket. Put down the bucket.
Wow.
Put down the bucket and the rubbish picker. And there's a neighbor recording. He's like, bro, he lives here. What are you doing? He lives here. We all live here. Bro, like, come on, this is just dumb, man.
It is dumb.
This
It is
just so
dumb. It is dumb.
dumb.
And it shows you the state of society in America. Black people are often detained for the most ridiculous of reasons. We know a man a few years back was actually shot over selling CDs out of the back of his car. So this kind of situation does not surprise me. I've come to expect a lot of things from America due to due to the rise in deaths amongst black males from police brutality.
It's just so silly, man. It's just so silly, bro. And not even that, bro. They tried to justify it. I don't know if it was a commissioner, but wherever that police was from, the precinct where he was from, they tried to justify it, saying that he didn't comply with the officer. Hence why the officer was a bit wary. No, that's not why, bro. We all know why.
Why should he comply when he's picking up rubbish?
Exactly.
He wasn't doing anything criminal.
Bruv. Man had a bucket in his hand to pick up rubbish. Like, that's not right.
So apparently now in America, you need to be careful if you're picking up rubbish, people.
Like, make sure you have your ID on you all the times, like, to pick up rubbish, because you never know when a officer's gonna turn up and be like, "Yo, what are you doing with that Coke can in the trash?" Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. That's just dumb, man. Do you know what I mean? That's just dumb, bro.
Oh,
but yeah, man.
Wow. That's shocking. That is shocking. It's sad to hear.
It's
really
very sad
and truly. To summarize the whole situation, it's sad to hear. It's sad to hear these state of affairs, and things just seem to be getting worse.
Yeah,
things just seem to be getting worse. It's genuinely like it's a crime almost at times to just have black skin. That is the reality of the situation.
That's true, man.
If you have black skin, you need to be wary of what you're doing because you may be stopped. And something just decided to fall on our table. But it's all good. It's all good. This is the Outspoken Podcast, people. We have a very special guest in the studio. Welcome, Saf.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Safeeyah Cornelius, aka Saf Star, and I'm a filmmaker, an actor, a mentor, and I'm currently opening my first business, Creative Change.
Whoa, wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. So it's interesting. Your name is Safeeyah, but on Instagram you shorten it to Saf. Is there a reason for that?
Well, my name, the reason why, because people are used to calling me Saf. In my family, I have non-Muslims in my family, and they just call me Saf. So I just kind of grown with that name. And I've always been obsessed with stars. So I'm like, okay, Saf Star, SS. So that's the reason. And also I like to separate myself, to the stage and my personal life. That's why I have two different names.
That makes sense. The reason why I asked is because you get a lot of, sadly, Muslims or usually people from foreign countries where their names are shortened in institutions because they can't be pronounced properly, apparently. So, for example, you might come across a kid that's named Muhammad and they're like Mo.
Yeah.
I feel this kind of strips away the identity of a person, really and truly, especially when the name's not difficult to pronounce. It's like, you're just being lazy.
Yeah.
Let's be real. What do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. My name is Safeeyah because I got two E's in my name. No one really spells it the way. So it's Safeeyah. But it was like, Safeeyah or Sophie or Safeeyah. And I was like, whatever.
Sophie.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever. Just call me.
Someone called Sophie.
How do you mistake Safeeyah and Sophie? Like, how do those two even come together?
I think when you get used to it, it's like, okay, whatever. I don't mind.
It's like my sister. Her name is Sade, right? If you tell someone immediately that her name is Sade, then you should be able to pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Because okay, her spelling is a bit different. It's spelled Sade. So if you don't know her, then you might call her Sadie.
Okay.
But her name is Sade, and she will tell you that. But people will still then say, "Oh, Sadi or Sadie."
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on a second, I've actually told you how to say it. How are you still getting it wrong?
Well, I used to go to a mentorship program, and there was this one teacher. Yeah, I said my name is Naeem. Yeah, she used to say my name is Naheem.
Naheem.
For one whole year, I was known as Naheem.
Naheem.
And I was just like, I looked at her every single time. I was like, you know my name's Naeem, right? And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Naheem. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you just said it again, though. Like, what are you doing?
Maybe sometimes they can't pronounce it.
Maybe sometimes.
Really?
I definitely think there's a possibility at times. That
I know, if they can pronounce the other Y's, they can pronounce a Y in a name, right? Like, I don't know. That's confusing for me.
For me, it's a case of, if the name is very difficult, then okay, maybe it's understandable that a person might struggle to pronounce it. But it doesn't give an institution, in my opinion, the right to then say, okay, we're going to call you this. Because it's easier for us and the pupils. At the end of the day, this is their name. This is their identity. This is what they've grown up with. This is who they've been called from birth. Why does it then give you the right, because you're an education establishment, to say, okay, we're going to call you this instead? Because it's just easier for us.
Yeah.
It's more relevant for us to do so because it saves time.
Yeah, well, if you look back in history, when they used to take the African people, they were like, your name's George now,
Yeah.
and your name's
exactly.
Michael.
Yeah,
because I'm not learning your name, that's just long,
That's
you know.
deep.
And then
so
now
deep.
people are, it's used to seeing people called George and
And
Michael.
that's what Muhammad Ali referred to when he became Muslim, isn't it? How Cassius Clay was a slave master, isn't it? Yeah,
But he got
amazing
so
to think
angry when I forgot who it was he had a fight with. The guy kept calling him.
was it Liston? I think it might have been Liston.
Yeah. And he kept calling him by
Yeah,
that
he
name.
kept calling him Cassius.
He kept
didn't
calling him Cassius, yeah. And then he's like,
My
no.
name is Muhammad.
He said, my name is Muhammad. It's Muhammad Ali. Don't call me that. And he was like, the guy's like, no. He's like, well, why are you getting so angry for Cassius? Why are you getting like people are trying to making
trying
it?
to goad him into
I
a
think
fight.
I don't know if he actually he swung at him in it, but I remember there was like an altercation.
Yeah,
There
I know what
was
you're
a big
talking about.
altercation.
I remember that as well. I remember watching it, but it's amazing. I've got so much respect for people like Muhammad Ali because he was really, really, really adamant that people should call him by his name.
Yeah.
He was so adamant, in fact, that his star on the Walk of Fame is on a wall. It's not on the floor.
Exactly.
Because of the respect he
Exactly,
had for
bro.
the name Muhammad.
Because he doesn't want people to step on the name.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's like if you look at someone like Mohammed Farah, his name is shortened to Mo in the media. And it then kind of makes it seem as though it's all right for other places to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have people like Mohammed Farah, who is a big deal, and he's okay with being called Mo. Why can't we call other people Mo? No. This is not even his real name. If he's okay with it, that's up to him. But it doesn't mean then that it should be a precedent for every other kid that's called Muhammad or every other person called Muhammad. Okay, we're just going to call him Mo to save time.
But then also,
hate
if the media could do that because they don't want to public Muhammad the name, because if somebody Googles Muhammad, other things will come out, you know.
And on top of that, it's because Muhammad is like one of the most significant names in the UK now. It's growing.
Yeah, definitely.
In popularity.
You know,
so many children are called Muhammad.
You know, in the UK, it's at the moment it's the 10th name,
Wow.
10th top name for babies. One, but then obviously after they saw that, because obviously there's different ways to spell Muhammad. So different ways to spell it.
definitely, yeah.
So after they counted all of the different ways to spell Muhammad, it became first.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? It became first. But that's only if they took one specific. If they took one specific spelling, it would have been 10th. But if they took all of the names into account, it's first. Because at the
I
moment, the
didn't even know
first,
that.
yeah,
That's-
first.
that's
It's funny because
news
I was doing research. Shout out to Huda Television. I was doing research for them.
Shout
But yeah,
out Huda.
yeah. So, but the first name in the UK is actually George. Funny enough.
Such a contrast.
Funny enough.
The first name is actually George.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, but it's funny that
It's funny.
how we got to
It
this.
is funny actually. Safeeyah, tell us a little bit more about this business venture, man. That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
that sounds sick.
Okay.
I want to hear a little bit.
Or you trying
more
to keep
about
it? You want to keep it a secret?
No.
or-
wanna keep
No,
it
no.
secret, it's
Do you
up
know
to
what?
you,
I'm in
yo.
learning. I'm in learning waves right now. Because I used to be homeschooled, so to me, I don't have any education, no piece of paper to my name. So when I want to learn about something, I tend to just learn myself about it instead of going to class and all that. So Creative Change, it's been going on for a few years, but now it's officially a company where we help young people. Especially young women, because no one really helps the young women. It's always the young boys. Sorry to say, guys, but the women are the next generation, and they'll be giving birth to the next generation. So we need to make sure they're strong.
Big up every woman. International Women's Day was recently, guys.
You know that. Big up the women out there, man.
So yeah, we help them, but we help them through creativity. So instead of being stuck in a classroom learning from a board or a piece of paper or a book, we actually get them on their feet, whether it's acting, filmmaking, get them really involved, poetry, everything. We just teach them in a creative way.
That's an incredible venture. Is it just you spearheading the thing, or how many of you is there involved?
So it's a family business. Me and my mother's leading it. But obviously we have a lot of creativities in my family, so we're all doing it as one. Very hard to work with your family, by the way.
I can imagine, but it's amazing thing to actually do, because it keeps those family ties.
Yeah, that's
tight.
that's what's good.
Yeah.
So
obviously you're gonna have bits where it's like, are we damn, bruv? Like,
you're gonna have those arguments.
Do you know how much times I want to fire my sister? I was like, I will fire you.
You're fired.
That's
my man.
That's family though, man. You get the fight next day. Yo, you want to get some food and stuff? Yeah, cool. Let's do it. That's family, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what made you get into filmmaking though?
Okay, so like I said, I was homeschooled. So one day when I was 12, my mum came up to me and was like, look, you need to know what you want to do with your life. So what do you want to do now? Because
that's a good mom,
your
man.
homeschool's finished now. So I pointed at the TV. I was like, Mum, I want to do that. I want to make movies. And then she looked at me, it's like, why? And I said, because look at the angle, look at the way they're filming. So I saw films in a different way. I never used to just watch them like, oh, this is a really good movie. I used to watch the angles, how they filmed and how the actors was and the stunt people. And I was like, yeah, I want to be in front of the camera and I want to be behind the camera. And them times there, that dream it wasn't realistic. People would be like, hijabi, first of all, in front of the camera and behind, as well as a woman. That's a no-no. But I had nobody stopping my dreams. I was like, this is my dream, and I'm going to do it, no matter what. And I had that kind of mentality. So I went on a few different courses with BFI. I went to RADA, did a bit of acting. And I realized that there was no platform for Muslim girls, front and behind. So I was just like, do you know what? I'm just going to do everything myself. And from then, it's been over a decade now, and I just continue doing it. So I'm still on my journey.
That's sick.
But hopefully the Oscar soon, inshallah.
The initiative, you took the initiative, and that's what we like to advocate on the Outspoken Podcast. Take the initiative, people. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your hopes. If you really, really want something, you'll fight for it. I heard this quote from, yes, I like professional wrestling. So I heard this quote on professional.
That was so random.
On professional wrestling. No, I heard this quote from Daniel Bryan's wife, and she mentioned fighting for your dreams as a concept, because Daniel Bryan, I don't know if any of you know who he is, but he had a devastating injury which entailed him not being able to wrestle anymore because he had too many concussions. But he kept going to doctor after doctor and doing his training and rehabbing and trying to get better, improving his diet and everything he could to get back in the ring. And eventually, after a few years, he was able to come back. And his wife was always advocating that concept of fighting for your dreams. So if you want something, people, much like Safeeyah here, fight for it. Don't give up on your dreams, man, because you are proof of somebody that strove and got to where they wanted to be.
Inshallah.
So inshallah, we'll see you with that Oscar one day on that stage.
Yeah. I already know my speech.
I killed it. And hopefully you'll be like, the Outspoken Podcast. What would be your worst experience? And why? Tell us why it was your worst experience.
Actually, I don't like this question because obviously you're making me rewind back to the past, and it's hard. It's hard, I must say. I don't know if I can answer that question because
it's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I don't want to put names out there, but let's just say I've had Muslim men come up to me and shout at me and put me down to the point that I didn't touch a camera for a whole year.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for Buttercup, I'm doing this for your company, and the backlash that you give me is just, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I swallow words when people talk to me. Words really hurt, you know. And coming from a Muslim, a brother, and them shouting at me, telling me that I can't leave and I have to stay and I have to do more work. And I was doing it for Buttercup for him. It's just like, I can't. I just can't. So it's hard, you know, because when you're in that industry, people expect everything from you and give you no credit, especially for a woman.
That's deep.
And little things like that. I've had loads and loads of experience. So it has had a massive effect to me. But then I always try to see the positive side. I'm like, okay, this is my part of my movie where I'm down, but, you know, I have to fight myself way back up, you know.
Exactly.
It's good that you didn't let it, like, obviously, like you said, words hurt and stuff. But it's
Yeah.
good that it's one of those ones where where it's like a phoenix, innit? Like you go bend the ashes and you come back stronger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You were striving in the face of
adversity.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I had to get that one
Adam
in there
speaks
again.
again. So
But on this podcast, we're solution focused.
Yes.
Much like Abdul Karim's wonderful company that is doing so many things for the youth, that is solution focused.
we should add this to
So,
our mission statement now.
How did you overcome these difficulties?
Yeah.
How I overcome it is realizing that what is the reason why I wanted to get into film. You know, I kind of brought myself right back to the beginning and thought, Safeeyah, why did you get into film? Yeah, it's amazing, it's cool, but what is your reason? What is your passion? What is driving you? And I'm like, I like to teach people through film. You know, through film you have feelings, you know, you get attached to a character, you understand things, you learn things, you know. So I was thinking, well, I am not doing this for myself. I am doing this for the next generation and for the youth because I want to teach in my films. You know, I want them to learn stuff.
What sort of things are you trying to put forth? You're saying you want to teach.
Yeah.
What sort of thing do you want to teach?
Well, I want to go back in history. You know, there's so many stories, you know, that we hear when we was young, you know, that needs to come back, you know, and we need to show them through film because nobody's going to sit down and listen to a story. You know, no one's going to, you hear it in the mosques or you read it in the books, but we're in another generation, you know, and we need to show it to them the way that they can understand it.
Yeah, that's why we need to, like you said, show people in a creative way.
Yeah.
But through storytelling.
Yes.
Storytelling through what we do. So, for example, with Liam, as an example, Liam is poetry, showing stories and stuff and situations and scenarios and like stuff that happens to black people and the stuff that's happened, that racial stereotypes and stuff like that, all in one, like that package, all in one. Yeah, that Liam does. And for me, I do like photography stuff. Yeah, so a lot of stuff that I do is storytelling through photography and showing my art through that. And for you, like through filmmaking, there's so many different avenues you can do. Like
you take them on a journey, basically.
Exactly. One video I watched which was called Happy Valentine's. It starts off you're a bit weirded out, like what is going on, this little car crash thing, and it's all it's all in reverse, and it goes through this whole journey about a guy's Valentine's Day. So it's something definitely to check it out.
There's no dialogue.
Exactly,
It's
no dialogue.
all visuals.
It's all visuals.
Wow.
It's done in reverse, and it all takes place in slow motion.
Okay.
But it is incredible. I genuinely think it's one of the best short films made.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, anyway. There's so much to it, and it's storytelling of another level.
Exactly.
It's when you can tell a story without needing to have dialogue.
You killed it.
To me,
you killed it.
That just makes you someone special because that is not an easy thing to do, and I know you know this from filmmaking yourself. I love that concept, minimal dialogue. I think it's all about portrayal of the scenes, the characters, what they're doing, what they're fighting for, what they're striving to achieve. I don't want to just have my characters telling you about it. I want to show you. I want that to unfold on the camera.
Yeah, it needs to have those twists that, like, you're watching it and you're like, what the heck? When did this happen? Yeah. Like, and then after it goes through this whole journey.
They play with your emotions, basically.
Exactly.
You
those
want
kind
the
of
film
things
to
you
play with
need.
your emotions.
Do you know what I mean?
It have to be emotive.
Exactly.
Do you know why I love anime so much? And we touched on this discussion last week. Because I know maybe you don't watch it, but the thing about anime is that Japanese storytellers are really, really good at being emotive. They really can affect you when you're watching and you're engrossed in this character's development, and you actually feel as though if something happens to them, you're gonna be sad. Or you're going to be frustrated. Or you're going to be happy if they achieve what they want to achieve.
Because you fall in love with the character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And sadly, in my opinion, and this is all subjective, of course, I don't think enough films do that these days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got number 1, number 2, number 3. We got Toy Story 10 coming out, something like that. And I'm like, do I have to go to Hollywood and knock on their door and be like, yo, let us take control now? Because clearly you guys are bored and don't know what to do now.
Slightly, I love Toy Story, though. Just putting that one out there.
But I'm not gonna lie, I cried at Toy Story 3, bro.
I was wounded.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I thought Woody was gonna die. I was like,
but when they were in the incinerator and they all like holding hands like,
I was like, yo, if Woody,
look at each other,
if Woody dies, I'm never watching Disney again.
But I'm telling you, I was in the cinema. Me, my brother, my sister, my older brother, and my cousin were there. We're all screaming like, no!
No, I was in the cinema. I'm like, yo, are they serious? Are they gonna kill Woody? He's gonna kill Woody. He's my childhood hero.
Oh man,
no, but Woody was like my thing growing up, man. I thought he was a G, man. It was like Buzz came in and Buzz was like, I'm Buzz Lightyear, and I'm just like, nah, allow you, man. I'm like, yeah, Woody's my don. His cowboy hat, just rocking it with his Bo Peep and all that.
Yeah, you activated the.
Woody. Nah,
you activate the
childhood,
the Toy Story,
the childhood,
childhood nostalgia. You know what?
Do you know what I mean?
The other day, Woodsy, I got to shout my man Woodsy out. Check him out on Instagram. Yeah, he dropped a sick poem going through nostalgia. Yeah, and he was talking about all these things from past, like Rugrats and Toy Story. And
that was sick.
Man, it made me go back to the 90s, and I was just like, those were some good.
Those were the days.
Those are the days.
Yeah, of course. Power Rangers. What are you talking about?
They're not ready. But, you know, this generation, no, they're not ready.
They're not ready, bro.
They got Cartoon Network back in the day was lit. Disney Channel was lit.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon was lit. Nowadays they got what have they even got to offer? They got such garbage on TV these days.
But I don't know even watch this Cartoon Network anymore, man.
Yes,
no, but we used to run like when we had the chat with Abdul Karim, we used to run home to watch Dragon Ball Z, bro.
Do you remember Dexter's Laboratory?
Yes. Bruv. We used to run home to watch that stuff.
No.
Now we have to. You watch it on your phone.
I don't know if you watched this, yeah. Please tell me you watched this, Safeeyah, yeah? Keenan and Kel.
Yes, of course. Come on.
Kel loves orange soda.
I've no idea. I've never seen this.
Your 90s weren't good enough, bro. Yeah.
That's deep.
You can't call yourself a 90s baby anymore, man. You didn't watch Keenan and Kel, bro. Did you watch Sister? Oh, man.
Them things are too black for him.
Is it? Oh, too black. Ooh, fight talk. Nah, just kidding.
Was it on Disney?
Nah, it was on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon for me back in the day.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't have Nickelodeon, man. I only had Cartoon Network.
You didn't have Sky?
You didn't have Sky.
I had Sky. I never.
Did you watch Disney at all? So you didn't watch Disney Channel either?
No, I had Disney. But I didn't have it as I don't want to talk about the stuff I had because not very legal. No, I'm joking.
Ooh, someone's implicating himself.
But I did have Cartoon Network and Disney, not through Sky.
It was amazing to hear how you overcame those experiences, though. Something people don't really know about myself is that I actually studied film when I was at uni. Okay. Yeah. I studied film. I love film. I love filmmaking. Like yourself, the art of filmmaking is just beautiful for me. When I sit and watch a film, I don't just look at, okay, is this a good film? And why is it good or why is it bad? I'm there and I'm studying the camera angles. I'm studying the way it's edited, and I'm looking at the character development, the dialogue, all of that stuff, because I want to educate myself as well for whatever I'm doing. But I dealt with hardship like yourself, man. Those classmates gave me a hard time. They didn't believe that I belonged there. Me and one of my boys, two of my boys actually, we were kind of the odd ones out, if you will. It was like we came from what they would perceive to be the ghetto, while these were very well-spoken people, perhaps from middle-class families, and we just got downtrodden the whole time or undercut the whole time. It was like, okay, these guys are not going to get anywhere. They're not going to prove to us that they actually belong here. Their work's going to be the worst. And I remember the first year how good it felt when we produced the best film. and nobody could say nothing. The guy put it on the screen, and they had to give us an A or whatever you call it, the highest grade for it, because it was the best film in the class. And I remember just feeling so good. It was like vindication, that achievement, and saying, okay, look, you've tried to put me down, but I've been striving in the face of adversity, and now I've overcome this. And I'm here to show you that if you work hard, then you can get somewhere, regardless of your detractors or your haters or people that are going to put you down along the way. I had to mention that. I had to lend that insight to the conversation, because I just think it's amazing when people do overcome hardship. Naeem,
I think that, bro,
you want to tell us a story of your own about when you overcame hardship?
I feel like this is leading on to a joke. Like, I meant to tell a joke right now.
But after hardship comes ease.
There you go.
You know?
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's actually a verse in the Quran, people. For those of you that don't know, after hardship will come ease. So whatever difficulty you're dealing with, eventually that ease will come, and you'll look back and say to yourself, "Okay, this was hard, and this made me deal with some really difficult situations. I felt low, I felt frustrated, but when I overcame it, I felt better than I've ever felt."
And you always learn something.
Definitely.
Always.
Yeah. In terms of me and striving for what was this thing? again?
Striving in the face of
Striving
adversity.
for the- in
I've
the face
got,
of
and
adversity.
Adam can't, Adam better be like, yo, Annotate, I'm gonna be shouting you out whenever you do anything anymore, because I've shouted that out about 5 times on the podcast already. Adam, by the way, I'm still waiting on that check to go through.
Yeah. Sponsored.
Just saying.
Yeah, for me, I guess when it comes to like work in general, because obviously we all go through different kinds of struggles and stuff. And for me, one time I did freelancing for about 6 months. One time, where I didn't have a job at all. I was just doing freelancing, and freelancing is a difficult space to be in. Not because like you got freedom and stuff like that, do your own thing, do it in your own time and stuff like that. But getting a client base can be difficult for a lot of people. So for me, when I was in those 6 months, I was very depressed because I got some clients, but I couldn't get a lot of clients, and money issues and stuff like that. So in terms of my adversity, I was sitting there thinking, like, how am I gonna like pay for like bills and stuff like that? Go through paying for the bills, helping out my mom and stuff like that, just doing what I need to do. So alhamdulillah, like meaning all praise be to God, that literally what I had to do was I had to get up, because sometimes I was sitting in my bed and I was like, what am I gonna do right now? Like,
yeah, he had no
I
motivation.
think we all have those days where we just kind of sit back and we're just like, I don't want to do anything today. I'm just chilling with Netflix,
that's not what I mean,
ice
though,
cream, and a drink.
Nah, I get that. That's not what I mean, though. I mean, like,
That's me.
I sat back and I was thinking, like, what am I gonna do with my life? Do you know what I mean?
Damn, boy, you had a whole lot of Netflix.
Do you know
then.
Surprisingly, that's when Daredevil season 2 was out.
Daredevil season 1 was absolutely killer, and Daredevil season 2.
That's actually when I watched. That's actually when I watched both of them.
Weak.
I watched both of them in those 6
Season
months.
3 came back and just rolled
Yeah,
the
yeah.
standards again, and then Netflix cancelled it.
Yep.
Netflix, great job, guys.
But yeah, during those 6 months, like that's when I was trying to figure out like what do I want to do, like what do I want to do in my life and stuff. I'm figuring out like how am I gonna pay the bills, how am I gonna do this, like then what at least you did was I sat down, got my notepad, and I just wrote out where do I see myself in the next 5 years, like what do I want to be doing?
That's good.
What do I want to be doing in the next 5 years?
I recommend people do that.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
that's what you need to do. Like you have to
Yeah,
plan it out.
yeah.
Obviously, you can't plan out every single day, but
Obviously, of course
as long as you can have like a goal, like where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Then you see like what your objectives in the next 5 years are that you think that you can achieve, what's tangible.
You
Like
work towards it.
and you just work towards it. So I just did that, and what my first goal was to contact, like the first day I was like, contact 50 people, ask them if they need a service when it comes to photography, videography, and just work from there. And like I'm not gonna lie, the first day I did 50 people, 10 of them replied and they said, yeah, we need stuff to do, we need stuff done. Do you know what I mean? And I stood there and I was like, because I expected no one to message me. Yeah. Oh, that's the form. I went in like, no one's gonna message me. I'm gonna do it.
You
No
had
one's
a
gonna
very
message me.
pessimistic mindset. Why was that? Why did you have that negative mindset?
I had the reason why is because not many people will reply to, like, for example, if they're big accounts, not many big accounts on Instagram or
That's
by
true.
email, they're gonna reply.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna
It's a
reply.
lot harder to reach
so
out to these.
I didn't go. I went pessimistic. Yeah, I was obviously I was optimistic because I was like, I'm gonna reach out to all these people. But I was pessimistic, like, because I don't want to be disappointed. Yeah. So I'm like, they're not. I said to myself, they're not gonna reply. They're not gonna reply. They're not gonna reply. I'm still gonna send them it, but they're not gonna reply because that way, if they don't reply, then I'm not disappointed. Because I knew from the fact, I knew that they're not gonna reply. Myself, I knew they're not gonna reply. But if they do reply, I'm like, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Because at least I put in the work and they replied from it.
Yeah.
So 10 people did reply, and now we're in a good relationship. We're working with each other, doing our stuff,
It's good, man.
and that's it, man. Because and then obviously, then eventually, I was able to sort it out with a job. I sorted out a job later on. Shout out to Huda Television again. Good place, guys. Like, you guys need to check it out.
You know, it reminds me a bit of wrestling. I've got to put this reference in there again. For any of you that watch wrestling, they have this thing called a cheap pop, where the guy will come out and he'll be like, "We're in Salt Lake City, Utah," and everyone's so going, "Yeah!" That's what he's doing right now.
That's basically what I'm doing right now.
Huda TV,
Huda
yeah!
No, so I mean, like alhamdulillah, all praise be to God. Like, may the best of them, man, because they helped me out a lot. They helped me out a lot, and they're doing a lot for the community and stuff,
great company, man.
Do you know
They're
what I mean?
doing some amazing things. And guys, if you're watching Huda TV, you might catch a little bit of Annotate on there.
Oh yeah.
From what I hear through the grapevine, that they've been playing some street tales and some victim card and some misunderstood and all sorts
some
of
forgotten
stuff.
people.
Forgotten people, Zainab. So, guys,
Go check it out.
go check out Huda TV. We're talking film. We're talking film, Safeeyah.
Yes.
Favorite film and why?
My favorite film has to be Equilibrium.
So now we see why you brought that to the desk.
Of course, I have to bring it. If I
you
would
had
talk
to.
about it, I have to bring it.
Yeah, I agree.
Starring, I call him Batman because he is the best Batman.
He's the best Batman.
I'm sorry, this new
embodied
Batman. Who is this new Batman? I'm sorry, I can't. No.
I'm hearing they might have Robert Pattinson play
Oh
Batman.
really? Oh gosh.
gross.
No. So anyway, Equilibrium.
I'm sorry, man. After Christian Bale, you can't be having Twilight. Come on, man. Mr. Twilight, get out of here, please. Come on, people.
No. But yeah, no, you guys have to watch it. Like 100%. This film is about after the World War III. And so books, art, films, music, everything is forbidden.
No.
And if you have one of them or you play the music, the sentence is death.
Wow.
So everybody you have to
That
take.
sounds so sick to watch.
You have to
Like,
take
that's
this.
That's not like a bad situation. Like, I don't want to be in it.
It's
I need to
amazing.
see this.
Because they say World War III was too much, so they have to numb the people down. So everybody has to take injection 3 times a day, so you have no feelings. So even emotions and feelings is forbidden.
That's
So Batman,
It's on
as we call
Netflix
him.
or like Amazon Prime or anything like that.
Yeah. There's a few sites as well. You can go on
I
there.
think this is one to put on the list of to be watched.
Oh mate, the opening
But
scene
if-
catched me.
But I'm watching
you
it today,
know.
man. I want you to
Do you
go
guys
and
watch
it.
The Matrix?
Yes.
Similar like
Yes.
that.
Of course,
It's
Matrix.
similar like the Matrix.
Matrix is sick. I know a brother that likes buying DVDs.
A
lot. He bought the whole Matrix collection.
Funny? You know
Wow.
what's funny? A bit like the situation that you mentioned with Christian Bale being
Yeah.
Batman. I don't ever call Keanu Reeves. I'm like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Neo, man.
Yeah,
That's Neo, bro.
Neo.
yeah.
That is who he is. That's the best character
But
you'll
I
ever
love
play.
I see posts where it's like it shows Neo, like it shows Keanu Reeves on the train, but I'm like, that's Neo, bro. What's he doing on the train?
Oh,
Hey, still in the Matrix?
I remember
You see
Neo,
that?
and Neo got up so someone else could sit down. That was very nice of Neo.
Yeah. maybe, but you know what? Have you ever asked yourself, like, are we stuck in the Matrix?
Well, we are definitely in the World War III. Just certain people don't know about it.
Mm.
You need eyes to open and realize
There
that
you
the,
go.
You've got
the
the red
media
pill
is
and the
it.
blue pill. Which one will you take?
I'm gonna take both.
You take both.
That's my medication.
You take both. Back to this film though. Tell us
Yeah.
a bit more why you liked it so much.
I like it because obviously the way it's shot. Obviously, it's like the Matrix. They got the guns and the fighting scene. So you got a little bit
Yeah.
action there.
Did you got those little next slow mo bits? Like in like,
Yes,
like Matrix.
with-
When they got up, like, they're like,
Yes,
Slow
they've got
motion,
this.
like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, he accidentally he breaks his his injection that he's meant to take. So he's like, oh, I'll go and get it later on. But he starts feeling, and the first feeling that he feels, which I think is quite interesting, is pain.
That is interesting.
So I was like, oh, why pain? Why pain? So he started to feel pain, and then he started feeling love, and then he's like, well, let me not take it. Let me see how it feels. So you see in this guy that he has to pretend like he's not feeling, but secretly he has so much emotions that he's trying to trap in, because obviously if he finds out, he's dead. But he's trying to find out the secret. I'm not even telling you guys anymore.
Batman's character? So that's Christian Bale's character.
That's Christian Bale. Yeah, it's all about him. It's all about him. He's the main character, mostly the only character really. That's really focused on it. But yeah, you guys just watch the film, and obviously I don't want to spoil it.
Nah, yeah.
But
I need to
I
check
was
it
getting
out.
really interested. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Like,
Is that
I'm just hearing
his
it.
acting is amazing.
Yeah.
It's
know?
interesting you mentioned Christian Bale, because if I had to pinpoint and narrow down and select one film as my favorite, which is very difficult to do because I love so many, it would probably be The Dark Knight.
Yes, 100%.
It would probably
Yeah, I
be The
love
Dark
that.
Knight.
The Dark Knight was
and
good.
a lot of people say, oh, people just say it's the best because Heath Ledger was the Joker and Heath Ledger won the Oscar. No, man. That film, in terms of comic book heroes, it set a new level for everything. The script was so realistic. For a
Yeah.
comic book hero, for a vigilante based from a universe that is not real, DC universe, it felt real. When you were watching it, it felt like he was genuinely vying for his city. He was vying to help his city and maintain balance amongst this chaos that was being presented by Joker, who could very easily be someone in real life. We see a lot of clowns and people doing mad stuff and putting on masks and being involved in criminal activity. It was just so believable. The script was really well written. The character development was excellent. Batman's struggle and the difficulties he went through, from Rachel Dawson to Harvey Dent, and how Harvey Dent ended up becoming Two-Faced. And oh man, I just love that film. Naeem.
Yeah.
With me, in terms of film, yeah.
Yeah, in
I
terms of film,
I have
what's
actually
yours?
2 films. One is an anime film, and one is not. One is actual like film.
Okay, we'll let him get away with that.
Yeah, because one film that I love, which is called Good Will Hunting.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that. Actually,
That's
is that with Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Oh, wicked.
Matt
film.
Damon.
Yeah, that's an amazing film. I love
What's
that.
the guy?
film.
What's the guy? The Batman guy.
Ben
Affleck's in it as well.
actually directed that.
Yeah, they both were it together.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So, who's the guy from Jumanji?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams,
He,
yeah.
he passed away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in it, and his role was that like. But all their roles were absolutely amazing. That story, yeah, and it got you so emotionally attached to it.
Agreed,
From the beginning, because you're learning about this kid Matt Damon's life story and stuff. He's a janitor and etc. etc. Like I'm not gonna go like too deep in. And then it goes into the character that goes into the psychiatrist's story and about his bits about his background, but it doesn't go too into detail. But it goes into like the subtleness behind it and seeing that like emotional impact that it has on his life. It's just amazing, man. Like it's such an amazing story where oh man, it's like the way this guy is, like the way he's mentally thinking.
He's very intelligent.
It's very intelligent, exactly. And there's another one, there's another one, yeah, which is an anime movie, made by Studio, I think it's called by Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli are big.
Yeah, let me just find the name. It's called Fireflies.
Hold on a second. Man said this is one of his favorite films ever.
No, because
and he doesn't know the name of the film. People,
no, because it's got.
have you ever heard of that one before? Oh, what's your favorite film, bro? Yeah, I got this favorite film. It's called I can't remember. Sorry, man.
No, I know the name. I know the part of the name. It's because it's called Grave of the Fireflies. Yeah, that's what it's called.
I've heard of this.
Yeah,
I haven't
Grave of
seen
the Fireflies.
it though.
Grave of the Fireflies is one of the best anime movies you will ever see and ever experience.
Why?
It's based on.
Why? No, seriously, why?
It's based off World War Two. It's based off World War Two, on the attack on Japan in Hiroshima. On Hiroshima, and two young kids during the war. One is the older brother and his younger sister are caught within this war, and after the war happened and stuff, people were still dropping bombs on Hiroshima where they lived. So they were going around trying to find food. Unfortunately, two things happened to their like parents. I'm not gonna say anything else regarding that.
I've heard it's a melancholy-inducing film.
It is. I'm telling you, you go through such a range of emotion. You're so sad from the get go from what happens to these two kids, and like I don't know, man. Like just thinking about it, just getting me emotional because it's so good.
I'm gonna watch it.
You need to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
You need to watch it.
It sounds
It's quite an old film. It's quite old, even like for you, like in terms of filming and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like Liam said, the Japanese have such a artistic way of doing films, and their storytelling is so on point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Grave of the Fireflies.
Okay.
Like, do check it out.
I will.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
you would enjoy it. I think anyone who appreciates good storytelling can appreciate anime. Honestly,
Yeah.
a lot of people, even myself.
Yeah.
Even myself, the first
He
time
hated
somebody spoke to me about anime, I was like, "You're what, 20+ years old?
Exactly.
And you're watching
He was
cartoons?
piling
Are
them off,
you
man.
like?"
Yeah.
And I felt like a bit of a hypocrite because I watched animated DC films, but
There you go.
I mean,
There you go.
I didn't consider them anime. I was just like, these are cartoons or whatever. But you guys are actually watching these baby cartoons because that's what I
Yeah.
thought they were like. I thought anime. I saw.
You know, I used to draw anime. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Yeah.
No
I used
way.
To draw them. Yeah.
What characters did you used to draw?
Mate, I don't know. I just draw
You know
them. I like that one.
Yeah, my sister was like that. She used to draw manga, but she didn't even watch anime. It was actually really
bro.
funny. But yeah, I just thought it was some childish stuff, like really, really garbage stories. And I watched one. I think the first one I ever gave a chance. I think Naeem bigged it up to me so much. Was Death Note. He was bigging it up for months. He's like, Liam, you gotta watch it. It's so sick. And I was like, bruv, I don't watch that stuff. He's like, bro, I promise you to give it a chance. And I watched it, and genuinely, it's epic. I can't even. I'm not even overselling it. That's how
Yeah.
deep it is. It is epic. It is an amazing story, and the way they develop the main character, Light, is some of the best character development I've ever seen. I would recommend you watch it, honestly.
She's gonna leave an anime fan.
After all this, we're proper selling anime to her right now.
Yeah.
She's just
I would
sitting
have
there
been like, guys, oh my god, why haven't you shown me this earlier? This is totally dope.
Sick,
now I can't stop watching it. Look what you've done.
I got pulled.
She can be, content junkie. She's gonna be the advocate of content junkies. She's
Mate.
gonna be like, no, talk about this anime on this week's Outspoken Podcast.
Mate, don't talk about Junkie. Right now, I'm trying to catch up with Ertudor. And,
As you can see, we got Saitama wearing an Ertugul hat.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
listen, Ertudor is just, it blew my mind.
Yes, sick. It's absolutely
Like, we're learning history, but we're also learning morals and manners to the
There you
point
go.
that I would not leave my house without my mum's blessing. I was like, Mum, can I have your blessing? Yes.
Yeah,
You know, the way they break their bread and the way they are, their manners and how they are. I'm just like, I love this show.
Like, Evala.
Evala, yeah.
What did your mum say?
She was like, yeah, like, kita, like, I mean, what? Like, what are you talking about? All right. Oh, Mom, can you give me some, okay, get me some tea. Can you give me some tea, please? Oh, Evala, thank you. And it's like, the funny thing is, but
man's
to make it
mashing
even
you
worse,
up.
but to make it even worse, it's not like I go like, Evala, like my normal, I go, Evala.
You gotta say an accent. You gotta say an accent. Evala,
We're in the
Evala.
accent.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So they just put out season 3 in Netflix. Thank you, Netflix.
Yes, Netflix.
I'm not gonna lie, I messaged them.
Netflix, you did one thing right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm surprised because that show is proper like an Islamic show.
Yeah,
man.
it's proper.
So
proper
Netflix
Islamic.
to show that.
But do you know what? Do you know how much viewers
There
and
you
how
go.
much fans
They're a business.
they
at the
have?
end of
Exactly,
They have
innit?
to.
They have to
Netflix
do
are
it.
a business.
They
I
have
think they
to.
conceded in the end and were
Yeah.
like, okay,
We need to
we
get-
want to make
Yeah,
that money.
because if
Let's
they don't, we'll easily just go to another site and watch
Exactly,
it from
Exactly.
there. So yeah,
Their traffic must be crazy.
It's must be mad.
Netflix traffic must be crazy.
yeah.
If you had a budget, Safeeyah,
Yeah.
of £50,000
Okay.
for a film of your choosing about whatever you want, I know it's not the biggest sum,
Yeah.
but it's a good sum.
Okay.
What would it be about, and who would you cast? What
Oh.
actors would you cast?
Okay. So what would it be about? So I am obsessed with the story of Khawla bint Azwar. So she, I don't know if you guys know her, but she was a fierce warrior. She used to fight alongside the Sahabas. So we're going back in time.
That's sick.
And when I heard about this story, I was like, why has no one made a film about this? Like, I got vexed. I was angry. So when I heard about her story, how she only went to go and save her brother, you know, and she went to go and fight because she loved him. And then the whole story was just like, this is a movie. This is a movie. Why is there not a movie out of this? So I heard about it last year, and from then I've just been obsessed with her, and I want to make a movie on her. So I would definitely. I don't know who I would cast.
That's a hard one.
I'll probably cast myself as the main actor because I don't think anybody can be like her other than me.
It's
you
like
know,
you envision yourself in your own movie. You're like, okay, nobody else is gonna be able to do what I want them to do with this character.
But you know, I'll give it a chance. You know,
Yeah.
I'll have like a casting day. But if no one can get to the point, I'll be like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to play her, guys.
Are you in like the process of like writing it up and stuff? or-
Well, there's already a story. I don't have to write it up.
Oh,
you know,
the
I just have to
story
just
is
read.
already done.
Yeah,
So-
of course, it's a real
That
life
makes sense.
story.
Yeah, real
I mean, like, the
story,
script
man.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that, you
So yeah,
figure that
I'm in
out.
the middle.
Yeah.
Script is a bit hard for me because I'm not really a writer.
Inshallah, it goes
inshallah.
well. God willing, that means my people. It goes well if you stay true to what you want to do. Keep striving.
So, yeah,
don't
but I
Striving
would
against
love,
adversity.
strive
I would
in the
love
face
to
of
get,
adversity.
was it Muslim Bilal, so Ashley Chin,
Yeah.
to help out because I like his vision.
He's good.
He just recently got done with the production of his own feature
Yes.
film called Life. No,
Faith.
not Life.
Faith.
Faith. I meant to say Faith. You know what?
Do you know, no.
no,
Life. He did one about life.
In that
He
moment,
did do one about life.
Do you
Yeah.
know why I said that? Because in that moment, Life came into my head. That video he did, that short
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
But the production is called Faith, my people.
Yes.
Forgive me for my slip
It should
of
be
tongue.
out the end of this year
That's
or
pretty out.
early
I've had a
next.
number of slips of tongues in this episode of the podcast. I think every episode we've had so far, and it's funny, right? Because people consider me somewhat of a wordsmith. People will come up to me after my poetry and be like, "Yo, I didn't even know that word." Like, you know,
He's the biggest grammar nut you'll ever
I'm a
meet.
grammar Nazi.
Really?
I go crazy if I'm talking to somebody and their grammar's all over.
Oh,
the place.
gosh.
I can't
I'm the
understand
worst.
what's
He
going
gets
on.
he gets on grammar on WhatsApp. Like, I'm like you are without the
Yeah.
dash. And he's like, no, it's not spelled like that. You know, like you have to put the dash in. Like,
Well, obviously,
I'm
you've,
like,
you've
bro,
been nice
what's
to me
up,
then, because
bro?
my grammar's appalling.
he got, like I said before, like he got angry at me for not putting a full stop one time.
No, I didn't get
Yes, you
angry. I
did.
was just like, it needs to have a full stop.
Yes, you did.
For
Who does that?
It was no, because contextually speaking, it didn't make sense
It's
without the full
WhatsApp,
stop,
bro.
man.
It's
It
WhatsApp.
needed that period. You know, he needed to stop, as the Americans say.
Man
period.
put me up like an 18-mark question from English. Yo, you need to have all your punctuation and grammar right.
And that is the irony of the fact that I slip up a number of times in the podcast, because I'm so adamant that my speech has got to be on point. That when it comes down to it, and I start having a slip of the tongue, people are thinking, okay, this grammar Nazi, he a hypocrite, man. No, I'm just joking. But that's interesting to hear. I didn't expect that. I thought you might go with some like current story and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I would cast
Yeah.
Christian Bale and Kate Winslet or whatever. I don't know.
I do have
She's
a-
the first name
Would
that
you-
came to
Yeah,
my
I
head,
do
but-
have a current story, like more modern.
Yeah.
But it's more like an educated kind of video. I'm not saying too much about it because I don't want people to steal my ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I
But
agree
when it
with
comes
that.
to casting, I would like to cast Muslims. Why does people not cast Muslims?
Yeah, I love
Why do
that.
it have to be
I
with
love
the big
that. I
names
love
or
that. and in those films, some of those big blockbuster films that they have that
Yeah.
are about Muslim stories,
Yeah.
and yet you've got a Caucasian male playing an Arab character. It's
Yeah.
like, come
Yes,
on.
dude.
Really?
Bruv, like what?
It's
is
this
going
whole
on?
idea of whitewashing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, but like I remember it was the Bruce Lee Netflix series, and it was played by a white guy.
Seriously.
Yeah. I think it was Bruce
I
Lee.
never
or
heard
the-
about this.
It was. I think it was Netflix or it was the film, and it was played by a white guy, and I was just like,
Yeah.
What is
See,
it?
Yeah.
see, that's ridiculous to me, and it's the same. I really had a lot of respect for Ed Skrein, man,
okay.
because Hellboy. I don't know if you guys have heard. There's a new release of Hellboy. They remade it.
Yeah.
It's coming out shortly. Ed Skrein was actually cast to play an Asian character in it, but the movie took a lot of criticism because of this idea of whitewashing the characters. So Ed Skrein dropped out. He said, "Okay, cast someone else."
Yeah.
And he dropped out, man. And I got a lot
Wow.
of respect for that, because most actors wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Okay, I don't care. It's my payday." You know what I mean? But Ed Skrein was
Yeah.
like, "You know what? Okay, do things the way it's supposed to be done. Then I'll drop out and I'll take the back seat and let somebody else."
Yeah,
who
had my
can-
time,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I respect that so much, because he's someone that came from just being he was like mainly a rapper, And now he's made it big in film. He's been in some big films, man. He's been in Deadpool. He's starred in Plan B's Ill Manners film when it came out. He's been in recently Alita Battle Angel. So he's doing some big things, man. And I've got a lot of respect for that. I've got a lot of respect for people that are willing to do things of that nature. So shout out to Ed Screwen, man. I'm going to give you 90 seconds.
Oh, gosh, here we go.
90 seconds, Safeeyah. We're going to put the timer on as well.
Extra 5 minutes.
We're going to give you 90 seconds to tell a young person why film is a worthy career choice. 90 seconds.
Starting from when?
Have you started the timer?
You started the
Oh,
timer?
Yeah, of course, man. You got to start the timer.
Okay, let me think.
We can't be deceiving the listeners. They'll be like, yo, that was way more than 90 seconds, guys.
Right, let me get this one.
I bet the people in the home is like, yeah, I'm going to get my
They
clock out.
they've got the phone out and they're just like looking at, okay, if it goes over 90 seconds, these guys are liars.
Come
Okay,
to this.
okay, bismillah.
3,
Stop rapping.
2, 1.
Okay, so first of all, don't get into film if you don't want to get into film. Okay, don't get into film if you think it's, oh yeah, I'm going to make loads of money, because that's, like, I hate when people do that, because films will be rubbish and then they don't feel like it's meant to be a real film. So if you're going to get into film, make sure you have a purpose and make sure you have passion in film, whether it's going to be directing, writing, lighting. There's all different parts of film that you can get into. The reason why I feel like people should get in film, especially Muslims or people with a passion, has stories to tell, is because it's a platform. You know, people can hear you, people can hear your story, they can feel what you feel, your emotions that you want to send out there, and I think that's amazing. Also, if you get into film, if you're ready to do the hard work. You know, blood, sweat and tears, that is definitely getting into film, no matter what country you're from, no matter what religion, that's basically it. So you're ready for something that's hard, then inshallah you get the dough in the end, then get into film. Inshallah, there you go. Boom.
Ooh, how many seconds did she do it in? She had 34 seconds to spare, people.
Bro.
34 seconds to spare. 56 seconds.
Bro.
Guys, I hope...
She didn't need 90 seconds, bro.
You didn't need those 90 seconds. I'm sold, man. I'm sold. Guys, if you're into film, trust me. If you actually like film, don't let anyone deter you from wanting to get into the film industry. Yes, it's an uphill battle. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's not going to be easy. But if you actually aspire to do this, then God willing, as Safeeyah mentioned, you'll get there in the end. With hard work, you will get there in the end. I genuinely believe in that saying, hard work pays off.
Yeah. Do you know, in terms of your, like, the business idea stuff you had as well, like, I was just thinking about, like, you're going to be training up people as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole process, isn't it?
Yeah, everything's connected. Everything that I do is like a puzzle
sick.
piece. Yeah.
So, for anyone, Yeah, so but people that can get into this, how can they get into the training program with this business? Like, how do they do it?
So we're called Creative Change, so you can look us up. But hopefully, inshallah, I am looking to do kind of like a agency. Yeah, we do workshops and we do agency. So we do workshops and agency. So we'll train you up and then we'll put you in the agency. So let's say when I'm ready to do my movies, I will pick people from my agency or people that I've trained up, because it's first choice. You know, I'm not going to choose somebody just because they have they've been to this college or they win awards. I like giving opportunity to people who has passion. You know, because I know they might not know certain things, but their energy and they will basically, it's better for them than somebody else. So yeah, we're looking to team people up, train them in acting as well, but then not just acting, it's just like also, obviously, when it comes to the Muslim women, we have halal contracts where they can be in anything, but, you know, you can't touch a guy, they can't be in certain scenes, so they feel comfortable, and their parents feel comfortable with them acting, you know, because acting here and there in certain films, you got to do certain things. So with us, we have a contract, and we're like, okay, well, if you want one of our actors to be in your film, you have to agree of our terms and conditions. So
I love those code of ethics right there. I love that. That's amazing, because in Hollywood, I remember when I was at university and we were studying certain aspects of film, and one of the things that came up was this whole idea of more adult-rated films needing to have a woman for a period of time. I can't remember the exact time. I think it was along the lines of 15 seconds of nudity.
Yeah.
In order to garner a male audience, especially if it's
sells.
a well-known female actress. It's like, okay, she's well-known, she's attractive. We're gonna have her on the screen for a certain amount of time, so the viewers can see her in this regard.
Yeah.
And the male audience is going to come to the cinema just for that. And it's sad. It's sad that we live in a time where women are treated as such objects.
Like,
so to see creative change, making a difference in that regard, having a code of ethics in place where women can play characters and be appreciated for being good actresses, and not just because perhaps they're good looking women or because they're willing to take their clothes off. This is excellent.
Well, then obviously if you look at Hollywood, they have to do that because how else are they going to bring people to the cinema? But look at Ertugrul. Any scenes? There's not even one kissing scene. One kissing scene.
This show doesn't even have one kissing scene, and they're proof that you don't need that crap in order to sell.
You just need a good story.
It's about the storytelling.
Yeah, about that's real filmmakers.
That's the
I'm
art
sorry.
of filmmaking. No,
you
you're
know?
right, I agree. That's the art of filmmaking, and it's lost on a lot of films these days. They think, okay, we're gonna throw these good-looking people in. We don't care if they're great actors or not. Sometimes I see films where it's like you're bringing to life something I read about. For example, this used to be a book. This was I'm sorry, it was previously it was only known as a book. Now you're bringing it to the cinema, you're making it into a movie, and you've cast these absolutely whack actors to pay the characters, but because they're both attractive, you're like, this is going to sell.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
The art of filmmaking is lost on a lot of filmmakers, man. That's why I love Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
I love Christopher Nolan because he understands the art of filmmaking.
Yes.
His films are heavily built around the story and character development, and that is why I absolutely love him, and he's my favorite director.
Yeah, everybody says that, oh, I'm a filmmaker. Okay, prove it.
Prove it.
Yeah, not everybody's a filmmaker, you know?
Yeah.
And
That's true.
So everybody can make a film, but not everybody's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
You know, like that. We got you on the Outspoken
breaking
podcast.
everything. Sorry, guys. Coming and breaking stuff. No podcast next week. Sorry, guys.
She's breaking our pop filters, man. This is the Outspoken Podcast, people, and this is Content Junkie. Naeem, what are we talking about today, bro?
If you guys have seen Jordan Peele's film Get Out, then you're definitely gonna love this. This film is called Us.
I can't wait.
Dude, like, I watched the trailer and I was just like, I was like, oh, happy, dappy family, like, going about their day.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and when I saw Jordan Peele's name, because I didn't know Jordan Peele at the beginning, because the trailer I watched didn't say his name or anything in the description or in the title. But then it said Jordan Peele, and I was like, oh, this is gonna turn to crap. So, Us.
You saw the name Jordan Peele and thought it was gonna turn to crap?
No, like I don't.
You are insulting me right now, homeboy.
No.
I saw Jordan Peele and was like, I'm sold. I'm going.
No.
I'm watching this.
I meant like the family who's happy dappy is like, their life is gonna turn to crap.
I get you.
I don't mean that
the way he phrased that.
Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry. I didn't mean like that. I meant their life is gonna turn to crap because that's what happened in like Get Out and stuff. Get Out was like in the beginning it was like it's the guy with his girl.
It seems normal.
It seems like a normal relationship. Next thing you know, this whole change happened.
The mad.
Like,
if you haven't seen,
stuff.
I don't even want to tell you because if you haven't seen the mad twist in Get Out,
it's so crazy.
Wow,
it's so crazy.
So intelligent.
Yeah, so
this guy is a genius with psychological thrillers.
Dude, he's sick, man.
Or horrors,
Absolutely
rather.
sick. But yeah, with this film, Us, just give you a little bit of detail in the trailer. All you're seeing is like a happy dappy family going about their day, they're enjoying life, and then next thing you know, you see that they're getting followed around and stalked by people. And you first is one person, and then it ends up being like a whole like group of people, and like there's 5 of them there, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? So next thing you know, this guy, the guy who's the dad, he pops out with a bat, and he sees this whole these people that are in front of him. And he's here with the bat. And he's like, "What are you doing? Get off my house. Get off my property.
Yeah, get on my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn." He's like, "What are you doing?" And then next thing you know, it shows the next image, and you see is them. Like it's actually them.
It's the same family. They're seeing themselves, a mirror image of themselves. Can you imagine?
Really?
That's
Have you not
horrifying.
seen it?
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
You need to watch it.
The
But
trailer.
I'm not really good at. I'm scared of horror movies because I believe in movies. You know, so when you see the horror movies, I'm like, it's a jinn. It's a jinn. I believe in these movies.
Boy.
I'm like, stuff like that. I'm not watching this.
It's mad because it's. Can you imagine the concept of being in a situation where it's all normal, your life is normal,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you come across people that look exactly
like you.
Like you.
Clones.
We're not talking.
even
We're not
kind of
talking about.
clones.
We're not talking about similarities or your doppelganger here. We're talking about these people are your mirror images. That would be
Yes.
some of the scariest thing I could
But
even imagine.
in this story, the way it shows in the trailer anyway, is that this is the evil side of them, and they're trying to kill
That's
them.
not good. That's not
So
good.
you see the dad basically, and then you see the other dad, and the other dad, they're both looking at each other like, what the heck is going on?
You know what? You know what's made. You know what'd be mad is if it's all in their conscience.
Yeah.
So it's all based on their conscience. They go to a certain place and it's all based on their conscience. So they're seeing the evil sides of themselves and
Yes.
battling against their conscience.
That's sick.
Ooh,
That would be
That's
sick.
that's
That would be
sick.
sick.
mad,
Okay, yeah, I
innit?
like
That'd
that.
be
I like
mad.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's like that, because I'll be like, yeah, Jordan Peele, you knew you kind of embodying what I had in mind and all that.
Well,
But,
that was such a sick idea, man.
Yeah, it also stars Black Panther's Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke. For those of you that
Sick.
don't know, Lupita played one of the main characters in Black Panther, the love interest of Black Panther himself, actually. And Winston Duke played M'Baku. M'Baku. My kids always go crazy at work over that. M'Baku! They love him, man. They love him. They're always going mad. They think his character was incredible. So it's released on the 22nd of March. I reckon it's going to be great. I reckon it's going to be an
Well,
amazing film. Jordan Peele's Get Out was
Is
excellent.
sick,
It won. I believe it won the Oscar. Did it? If
I
remember
think
right.
so,
I think it
yeah.
actually won the Oscar for Best Picture. I could be wrong.
But you know what's funny is like I've been watching Jordan Peele and who's the other guy? His classmate Keegan.
Key and Peele.
So Key and Peele. I've been watching them since they were on Mad. I don't know if you guys know about Mad TV.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I know about Mad
Mad
TV.
TV is like an old school show, yeah, on in America, and a lot of people used to watch it, and they used to be featured on Mad TV. That's how I found out about them. They used to do the funniest sketches. It's funny how they went from comedy. And like Jordan, for example, Jordan's been in comedy for ages.
He's known for comedy.
Exactly, he's
But
known for
now
it.
he's just
Now
showing
he's a
people
director
that I'm
that's doing
versatile.
Yeah, he's a director
Yeah.
that's doing horror films.
Many people can't do that. You know?
Bruv, he
I'm
went from
serious.
one end of the
Yeah.
spectrum to the other. Bruv, that's amazing.
And a lot of people can't do that. And a lot of people also say that once you do comedy, there's no going back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Man.
It's like you can't go back from that comedy. And
disproves
he's
it.
done that. He's disproven that theory.
Do you know what I
He
mean?
has disproving it in such a way that his first film,
Yeah.
Get Out, which was his first film, can you imagine? Can you believe that? Yeah, has gotten critical acclaim across the world.
Bruv, that's sick.
So
Ratings to him, bruv.
ratings. Big up Jordan Peele. To summarize, the film itself is about a husband and wife, Gabe and Adelaide Wilson, who take their children to a beach house hoping to spend time with friends. Their serenity soon turns to tension and chaos when a group of strangers, referred to as the Tethered, who look exactly like them, arrive. And we're looking at some chaos, I'm telling you. There's going to be some chaos in this one. It's released on March 22nd, people. I cannot wait. This is the Outspoken Podcast, and it's time. What time is it, Naeem? It's time. It's time to make a statement. Safeeyah,
I loved how you asked me what time is it,
And then answered
you
one.
answered yourself.
just in case Naeem wasn't ready to make a statement. But,
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking like, what time is it?
Same, sounds like wait.
what time is it? If he
What's going
stops right now, it's going to be an awkward pause.
It's Doha time. It's Doha.
Safeeyah, what
Yes.
will you leave our listeners with this week on the Outspoken Podcast that they can take away and hopefully benefit from?
I think I will give them never give up.
Mm.
You know, I always say that every time I'm in hardship or I feel down, I just keep telling myself never give up, and God is always with you.
No, I love it. I love it. That's something we've spoken about on the podcast a number of times as well. I agree with that entirely. Naeem, make a statement.
For me, just like
Is that your statement?
yeah, just like yeah, me. Do you know what? I haven't really thought about one, to be honest. Today I've been just focused on getting a lot of stuff done. Actually, no, I do have one. I actually do have one. So for the last few days, I've been planning out my weeks by weeks and focusing on what I need to get done. So before a lot of my stuff was unbalanced. Yeah, a lot of my work and stuff, and just like plan in general was kind of unbalanced. So now that I've scheduled everything that I'm doing when it comes to the podcast, when it comes to work, when it comes to going to the gym, when it comes to doing some external stuff, photography stuff, all the kind of stuff, I've planned it out now. Like it's in my calendar and ready to go.
It feels better, right?
It feels so much better,
Yeah.
better because now I know exactly what I'm doing each day, every day. Like I'm like now I've even planned out like time to spend with my family. Like this is I've allotted this time. It sounds kind of bad if I say it like that, but I've allotted this specific amount of time.
No, I don't think it's a bad
You know what I
thing.
mean? I'm in my head. I was like, wait, does that sound really bad to me? But I've allotted this amount of time to spend with my family because otherwise, if I don't have that balance,
Yeah.
you start to neglect things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So balance is like just having balance and making sure everything of your life is planned out. I feel like it's key because it keeps you on check. Yeah, and then when it comes to certain things, then you can say to yourself, whatever happens in my plan and something goes wrong, I'm accountable for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if anything happens, like if for example, if I didn't come to the podcast today, yeah, if I was proper late, then I'm accountable. That's my fault.
Yeah.
It could have been the bus could have been late, XYZ could have happened, but
You should have left earlier.
Exactly, but that's my fault. Exactly, I should have left earlier. That's
Yeah.
my fault because once you start to take into account what you're doing, and and take into account when something is definitely your fault, then you start to reflect and say, look, this is how I can fix up.
Yeah.
This is how I can fix up. This is what I can do better. This is how I can
Wait,
improve myself.
On the topic of time, that you mentioned time.
Yeah.
There was actually a really interesting remark I heard on the Half Cast podcast the other day, from one of the brothers on the set, and they were discussing Takeshi 6ix9ine's impending prison sentence, or whether he's not gonna snitch, as in he's gonna tell the police,
Yeah.
or whether he's gonna actually take the time and do the 46 years. And he was asked if he would be paid a big sum of money, so like millions of pounds, and serve the time, or whether he would snitch so that he can not serve the time. And he said, I can't get my time back. Money is money. Okay, it's a big sum. It's all it's going to afford me is a big house, a car, new clothes, new trainers. But my time, I can never get
Never
that
get
back.
it back, man.
Yeah.
I can accumulate money over the years, but my time, when that's gone, I can't get back. I thought that was an absolutely
Well, that's the best answer, bro.
terrific
Yeah.
answer to that question.
Yeah.
And what a way to end the podcast. Use your time wisely, people. That's my statement for this week. Use your time wisely. You're never getting it back. This has been the Outspoken Podcast, people. I'm your host, Annotate, joined by my co-host.
Just Naeem.
And it's been a pleasure, Safeeyah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on the Outspoken Podcast. Until next time, my people, have a good week. We cannot wait to talk to you guys
We're
again.
gonna see you next time, guys. I love you.
Bye-bye.
You guys are crazy.